Hey everyone, my name is Beacon. This is the Poi Mechanic channel, and today I'm going to be doing a review on Dragon Poi. Dragon Poi is from a company called Flowforge Creations out of Canada. They sent me this setup, and I'm absolutely in love with these things. I'll get to why I like them so much, but first we'll talk about what they're made up of. They're made up of one being the head, which are called dragon eggs, and the other being the handles, which are called Magnetechs. Magnetech because they're magnetic. You can buy these things separately if you want to just use these for a rope dog or head or whatever. If you already have a setup, you just want to put the handles on. We'll start off with the heads first. So Dragon Eggs are a collaboration between Flowforge Creation and Dragon Heart Art. They're called Dragon Eggs because, as you can see, there is aluminum scales that are covering them. The scales are put together like chainmail, so it's called scale mail. The scales are covering a 3D printed case that has a rechargeable LED on the inside. If you look at the bottom, you will see that there is a recharge port here on your left-hand side, and that takes a micro USB cable, so what a lot of Android phones and other devices use. On the right, you'll see an on and off switch, and then in the center, there is two buttons. If you press the two buttons together, you can go through the 5 different brightness settings. If you press the button on the right, you'll go through the strobe settings, and there's 10 different strobe settings. If you press the button on the left, you'll go through the 25 different color options. The color options or color wheels are either solid colors or rainbow colors, and to be honest, I haven't even gone through all of them, but there's really amazing ones, and the way the light kind of shines through the scales and the 3D printed material is just really, really pretty. The battery life on this is about 4 to 12 hours, depending on what setting you have it on. They weigh 190 grams, and they're metal. So they have this nice little sound to them, and I'll get to that later and why that's such a joy to spin with. They have an optional dust cover that you can either download the print file for and print up yourself, or you can talk to Jeff at Flowforge Creations and he can make you up one. And that's just if you're going to places like Burning Man or festivals that have a lot of dust, you probably want to get that just to protect it a little bit better. Now these are sold as a pair. They're $160 a set, and I think that's it on the heads. Let's go on to the handles. Magnetech grips. These things are awesome. They're a 3D printed knob that has a rare earth molybdenum magnet, super strong, and it has .XL chips from Ultra Poi. The .XL chips are a rechargeable chip that takes the same type of plug that the heads take, a micro USB. And if you don't know anything about these chips, you can look on my YouTube channel. I have a review on them along with all the different color options. Off the top of my head, I think there's like 10 different color modes, a few different rainbow modes and strobe modes. There's 2 different brightness modes, and yeah, the chips are pretty neat. The chip access is on the bottom here where the swivel is, which these will come with swivels if you want. If you unscrew, there's a little cap right here that I didn't even know the cap was on there because it was so flush, but you unscrew it, take the cap down, and it will have a little charge port access right here. Inside, you will also see that there are these inserts that you can put inside here for swivels or for a thicker rope, just depending on what you want to use. If you go onto the website that sells these, which is flowforgecreation.ca, you will see that there's a few different videos on there that show you how to put different size ropes in here and a couple of different things. I'll leave those videos in the description below as well. Now, onto the magnet. Or, well, first of all, as far as the brightness on these things go, they're brighter, in my opinion, than the Ultra knobs. There's something about this plastic that it just lets the light shine through it much, much better. I couldn't believe how bright these things were. But so anyways, onto the magnets. The magnets are super strong. So strong, in fact, that you can do tricks like neck wraps and things like that, and it will hold together through the whole trick. They are strong, so be careful not to get your fingers in between there, and be careful not to get things around like your credit card or any sensitive electronics, because those magnets can do damage to that. If you want to contain that magnetic field when you're storing them, put these things together like that. Now, you can take them apart one-handed if you want. The best way to do that I have found is to hold them in your hand like that, middle finger right there, and then use one of the indentations for pushing the buttons and push on it like that. Takes a little bit to get used to, but it's definitely doable. Now, right now these are the 7mm ropes that come with it. These are from, I think, Homopoi or whatever. Didn't think I'd like this rope, but the rope actually does really well with this style setup. That being said though, I think I will probably switch the rope out because I just like about a 10mm rope. I'm going to try something with a 10mm rope with swivel, somewhere about half an inch or an inch down. Now, the weight of these things, they are 38 grams without the chip in them. They're 44 grams with the swivel, and if you want the chip, it's an extra 4 grams, I believe. And they're actually really nice. I like the weight of them as they are right now with the chips and swivels. They're nice and squishy, so they're forgiving if you hit yourself. They feel really nice and smooth. I really like them. And other than that, they're $110 a set. With the chips and $70 without the chips. So if you have your own chips or if you don't even want to use chips, that's the price. And let's get on to why I like these things. So when I first heard about these things, I was turned on to them by somebody who was telling me about the knobs. When I saw the knob option, I'm like, oh my God, that's really cool. There's a lot of different options you can do with that. So I talked to the guy about sending me some for my video that I'm wanting to do on knobs, and then he told me about the heads. And I thought that's kind of a cool idea, but I really didn't think too much of it until I got them in my hands. There's something about these that is just so different than any other poi that I spin. One being the weight with just this particular setup, it spins really nice. Even with that stretchy rope, which I don't usually like, it works really well with this weight. The next thing is the way that the light, shines through this. It not only shines through the scales, but it kind of bounces off the scales. So it gives it a really unique look when you're spinning, especially when you're doing orbitals. The light just flickers in there in a way that's it's super, super cool. But what really surprised me probably the most is how much I like playing with these in the daytime. The light from these things, like when the light bounces off of it, it almost looks like they're lit up in the daytime. If I'm like out in nature, like I spin out by the Red Rocks a lot of times, in Sedona here, and the light bounces off on it, and so it like kind of changes, the light of it changes based on where you spin them. Another thing that's really cool about them is the sound. It gives you a little audio feedback of, when you're spinning them. So if you're doing contact rolls, for instance, it also makes this sound. It sounds like scales, moving, and they like moving down your arm. It also gives this tactile feel to it, and it is different than any other set of poi that I've had. So I've been having a lot of fun with these out in nature. Unfortunately, my camera is not really good enough to really pick up how awesome they are. Just there's something about the way the light shines off of these that my camera doesn't pick it up very well. But all in all, I'm quite surprised. I'm so grateful that Jeff sent these over to me. I've been having a blast with them, and definitely look forward to exploring more with the Magnetech option here. So other than that, I think that is pretty much it. It is something you just really have to get your hands on to know what they're like. If you have any comments or questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a good one.